Hey, Mina, what's wrong? Did something happen in school, or are you just drowning in those math problems? I can help you if you want, but I promise it's not as scary as it seems once you get the hang of it.
I don't get today's math lesson. It's all so confusing. We were supposed to learn about fractions. But when Mr. Benson started talking about dividing pizzas and cakes, my brain just turned to mush. I mean, who can even think about pizza when you're trying to figure out how much to share with your friends? It feels like everyone else just understands everything perfectly.
Math. Did you ask Mr. Benson for help? He's really nice once you get to know him. I remember when I was in third grade. I thought he was super strict, but he just wants us to learn. Trust me, he won't think you're dumb. Everyone has questions, and asking them is actually a smart thing to do. You just need to gather your courage and approach him.
Not yet. I'm scared he'll think I'm dumb. What if I ask a question and it turns out to be something really simple that everyone else already knows? I don't want to be that kid, the one who always needs help. It's embarrassing. Plus, what if Jack and Maria find out? They'll probably laugh at me or think I'm not as smart as them. I really don't want them to see me struggle.
You're not dumb. Everyone struggles sometimes, even me. Math can be tricky, and it's totally okay to ask for help. Think about it this way: if you don't ask questions, you'll never learn. And believe me, Jack and Maria would never laugh at you for wanting to understand better. They're your friends, and friends help each other out. Just give it a shot, and I'll be here to cheer you on.
Okay, maybe you're right. I just wish it didn't feel so scary. I mean, what if I go up there and I totally freeze? Or worse, what if he calls on me in front of the whole class? I don't want to look silly in front of everyone, especially with Nora and Mara sitting right there. They always seem to be whispering about who's cool and who's not.
Okay, class. Let's simplify this fraction. Who can tell me what we do first? This is important because understanding fractions will help you with all kinds of problems. Not just in math, but in real life, too. So, let's see who's been paying attention.
Do we add the numbers? I thought that maybe since they're fractions, we might just combine them together like we do with regular numbers. I mean, it seems logical, right? But then again, I could be completely off. And that's really scary to think about in front of everyone.
Seriously, Mina? Everyone knows you can't just add fractions like that. It's not rocket science. You really should pay better attention if you want to keep up with the rest of us.
Not quite, Mina. We actually want to find a common denominator. It's an essential step in adding fractions, and don't worry. It takes practice. Remember, every mistake is just an opportunity to learn.
Oh no, I messed up again. Why can't I just get this right? I thought I understood fractions from the way we learned them before. But now it feels like everything's jumbled in my head. I really hope Jack and Maria didn't hear me. They must think I'm such a loser for not knowing this.
Mina, it's perfectly okay to make mistakes. That's how we learn. I want you to think of this as a puzzle rather than a problem. We're all here to support each other. Let's break it down together as a class. Who else has an idea about finding a common denominator?
Oh, I know. We need to look for a number that both denominators can divide into evenly, right? Like if we had 1/2 and 1/3. We could find 6 as a common denominator because both can fit into it. Then we can figure out how many pieces we need.
What's wrong, Mina? You look like you just lost your favorite toy or something. Did something happen in class that made you feel this way? I know it can be tough sometimes, but we're here for you, and I promise whatever it is, we can figure it out together.
I messed up in class today. I don't understand anything. I raised my hand, thinking I could answer Mr. Benson's question about fractions. But I totally blanked and said something silly. And everyone laughed. It feels like I'm just not smart enough. And I hate feeling this way, especially when I want to do well.
It's okay. We can help you after school. Seriously, it won't be a big deal at all. We can break it down together, and I bet we can make it fun. Plus, I can bring some snacks. And we can turn it into a mini study party. Who wouldn't want to learn fractions while munching on cookies, right?
Yeah. We can study together. It'll be fun. I promise we'll make it interesting. We can use some games or draw things out. Maybe we can even use pizza to visualize those fractions. I mean, who doesn't love pizza? It'll be like a mini math party, and you won't feel alone in this.
How was school today, Mina? I know you've been a little anxious about starting third grade. But I'm curious to hear how your day went. Did you make any new friends, or maybe learn something exciting in class that you can share with us?
I had a tough day. I didn't understand math. We were learning about fractions, and when Mr. Benson asked a question, I raised my hand, but I totally blanked out and said the wrong thing. It felt like everyone was staring at me, and I just wanted to sink into my chair and disappear.
That happens to everyone at some point, Mina. Did you try asking for help? It takes a lot of courage to ask questions in class, especially when you're unsure, but it's the best way to learn. I remember feeling nervous about math when I was your age, too, but it gets better if you keep trying.
Yeah, but I was nervous. I thought if I asked a question, Mr. Benson might think I wasn't paying attention or that I was just dumb. I don't want my friends to see me struggle either. Especially since Jack and Maria seemed to get it right away. I just felt so embarrassed.
Sweetie, it's completely okay to ask for help, and we believe in you. Everyone learns at their own pace, and asking questions shows that you're engaged and eager to learn. Remember, even adults ask for help when they don't understand something. It's a sign of strength, not weakness.
In the next day, after school, her parents talked to her again.
Mina, how was school today? I hope you've made some progress with your math. We talked about how important it is for you to keep up with your studies. Especially since you seemed so determined yesterday. Did you feel any better about asking for help from Mr. Benson?
It was okay, but I still don't understand math. I tried to follow along, but when we got to the fractions, my brain just felt like it was on overload. I raised my hand and asked him to explain it again, but it still didn't click for me.
Did you ask Mr. Benson for help? You know he's always willing to assist you if you just reach out. I thought we agreed that you would be more proactive about your learning this year. It's important to take responsibility for your education and not just wait for things to come to you.
I did, but it's just so confusing. I really tried to pay attention. But when he started talking about common denominators and how to simplify fractions, it was like he was speaking a different language. I felt like everyone else got it, and I was just lost in a sea of numbers.
Mina, you really need to try harder. You can't just give up when things get tough. School is supposed to challenge you. And part of growing up is learning how to deal with that challenge. You can't expect to master everything overnight. But you have to put in the effort, too.
You know, if you keep being lazy about your studies, it's going to affect your grades. We don't want to see you struggling later on because you didn't take the time to learn now. You have to be more disciplined and focused if you want to succeed.
I'm not lazy. I just don't get it. I'm trying my best here, but it feels like no matter how hard I concentrate, I'm just not getting through. I feel like I'm putting in all this effort and still coming up short. And it's really frustrating.
It sounds like you're making excuses. You need to focus more and not let your fear of failure hold you back. You have to push through these difficulties instead of letting them defeat you. We believe in your potential, but you have to believe in yourself, too.
But I'm trying. I really am. It's not that I don't want to learn. It's just that fractions make no sense to me right now. I promise I'll keep working on it. But I need some time to figure it out. Maybe if we could work through it together, it wouldn't feel so hard. They don't care about me. They always think about my grades. What about me? I'm not just a report card or a set of numbers. It feels like no matter how hard I try, it's never enough. I'm scared and confused. And all they see is what's on paper. I wish they could understand that I'm trying my best. It's not that I don't want to learn. It's just that math feels like this giant wall I can't climb. I want to be good at it, but it's so hard to keep up. And I feel so alone in this struggle. Why can't they see how much it hurts? I just want to feel like I'm enough, even when I mess up. I want them to care about how I feel, not just my grades. Why do I have to feel this way? It's like I'm trapped in this cycle of worry and fear. What if I never get it? What if I always feel lost? But I won't give up. I can't let this beat me. I'll keep trying, and I'll find a way to make sense of it all. I just need to remember that it's okay to struggle and that asking for help doesn't mean I'm weak. Maybe if I take it one step at a time, I can get through this.